Hey everybody, welcome back to Fantasy R&R. My name is Rob.
I'm Ryan, and this is the actual Week 12 preview.
It's jingle time.
This is Fantasy with Rob and Ryan, Fantasy R&R.
All right, folks, happy Thanksgiving from Rob and Ryan to you. So let's get into the Thursday matchups, the Thanksgiving turkey, football, family. Gotta love it. Houston Texans at the Detroit Lions. Ryan, who are you looking at in this game?
Well, gobble, gobble. It's time for Deshaun Watson to eat against his suspect defense.
There we go.
I like Cooks. I like Will Fuller here. Stay away from the Texans' backfield. On the Lions side of the ball, Kenny Golladay is out.
Yep.
Guys, you're going to be going after Hawk. He's going to play, and of course, your Marvin Jones Jr. They put up a dud last time. Who do you think takes this game, Rob?
I'm going Houston, surging as of late. Looks like they have something to win for. Lions do not. Swift will be out as well. Lions running back DeAndre Swift will be out of this game. I'm liking the Texans. Later in the day,
Nice.
The Washington football team. Let's not, throw away that derogatory term, especially on a day like today. The R word, if you will. Against the Dallas Cowboys. Ryan, who you liking in this game, bud?
I don't like anyone in this game. This looks disgusting. The Red Rocket is back on Dallas. You don't bench Zeke, guys. Stop talking about benching Zeke.
Agreed.
Pollard should be stashed behind anyone who has Zeke. I think this is a good chance, though, for Washington defense to be taken advantage of, and you could start your Gallups and your CeeDee Lambs and your Amari Coopers today. Washington, you've been high on McKissick. This could be a chance with the Cowboys' bad defense. We could see a lot of passing to him today. McLaurin, question to go. I think he's your must start. Other than that, this is going to be a terrible game.
Yes, it will. Tight end for Dallas, Dalton as well. Good play with Washington. Who do you got in this one? I just real quick, I'm going Washington. I think that running back tandem again of McKissick and Gibson. I think they're both going to have themselves a game against this very suspect Dallas D. What about you, Ryan?
Oh, unpopular opinion maybe, but I think the Cowboys take this one by a slim margin. This is going to be a low-scoring game. I don't like it. I'm disappointed, but we'll talk about that last game that was supposed to happen a little later.
That's right. Don't get too down because come Sunday we have ourselves some games. The Las Vegas Raiders against the Atlanta Falcons. As of right now, Julio Jones is questionable. Anybody in particular you're starting that you are salivating over right now, Ryan?
Guys, I want to believe it's going to be Henry Ruggs for this game on Sunday. Is this his breakout game? Please. Nelson Aguilar is one of those guys you might be starting in your flex position. Darren Waller's a must start every week. Derek Carr's looking way better. That was an awesome barn burner last week, just like I thought it would be. Fun game. Falcons defense is terrible. Raiders are going to take advantage of it. Josh Jacobs is going to push the ball, and they're going to play action. The Falcons, Hayden Hurst, can he bounce back? What do you think, Rob?
At this point, why not? I mean, he has been a top 10 tight end all season. That's not really saying much, being how bad the position is this year. But why not give him a shot if you got him? But when it comes to Atlanta, even with Calvin Ridley, I'm owning him. I'm worrisome only because of Matt Ryan's incompetence, I guess. I don't know. That team's a mess.
Matt Ryan.
Los Angeles Chargers, Buffalo Bills, Herbert versus Allen. This is going to be a fun one. This is a shootout. This is going to be my game of the week. Bills need to win this one. They can't get blindsided by the Chargers, who are going to have Austin Eckler back. A lot of people drafted him first 2 rounds in their drafts this year, so it is going to be a nice shot in the arm for fantasy teams. Buffalo comes back from their bye week. You got Stephon Diggs. You have the potential of John Brown being out, so Diggs might see a couple more targets. One of my I want to believe, go ahead and cue up that beautiful music. Beasley could see some extra targets. He's trending in the right direction all year long with Josh Allen's big arm. And I know you have a receiver for the Chargers, Ryan, that you've been very high on all year. Go ahead and talk to me about your guy here at wide receiver.
Yeah, and this is a guy I think everyone should try to trade for. You might have to sell a little higher now. Keenan Allen, I went and got him when he was about position rank 25, 27, somewhere around there. I did give up Deshaun Watson for him because I was going after some new QBs with the way my team standings were. Keenan Allen is now position ranked 6. He's the guy that can get you over the top in your playoff runs. So go after this guy. With Herbert involved, he's finally the receiver we all knew he should be. He's a little late in his career, but I think he's worth trading for.
New York Giants, Cincinnati Bengals. Oh boy. This one here has the potential to be, what's, I guess, the opposite of a barn burner? A wet barn? I have no idea. But we had the likes of a Wayne Gallman. Let's not forget about him. He's going to be the lead back in the Giants' backfield. Cincinnati is going to be without Joe Burrow. What are you doing with receivers from the Bengals if you have them on your team, Ryan?
Sell high now. Got T. Higgins, got Tyler Boyd. You want to make a push for that playoff run. You want the championship this year. Trade them off, especially in your keeper league, because in keeper leagues, those two guys are going to have more value. As far as the run game, guys, Joe Mixon could be out for the entire year. We don't know yet. You're going to have to roll with Giovanni Bernard. This offense doesn't look like it's going to be very potent. The Giants have been playing better. I don't think this is going to be a very good game. On the Giants side of the ball, like Rob said, I think you start your Wayne Gallman here. Hope for that goal line TD and the volume he gets. And I also think Darius Slayton and Evan Ingram could have decent games against a terrible Bengals defense.
Yeah, and I know you did name Giovanni Bernard. He actually did not practice yesterday, so that is something to look forward to look at moving forward. I think Giants win big on this one, and I'm not going to be shocked if Evan Ingram has himself a game as well as Gallman. A couple guys maybe to target if they're still sitting there on your waiver wire. Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts. Nice division game here. These two met just a couple weeks ago. Tennessee with the big win last week. They've got a couple receivers in A.J. Brown and Corey Davis that I'm slowly but surely starting to fall in love with. For the Colts side, you got Michael Pittman Jr. These are two wide receivers I'm really looking at. I have both of them in our ESPN league. I just traded for A.J. Brown, who outside of one clunker, the last 5 weeks since he's come back, he is scoring on average 18 points. He has the most yards after contact right now in the last 2 years since he started. So this is just, a freight train of a wide receiver. And on the flip side, again, Michael Pittman Jr. is really starting to come in his own the last 2 weeks. It looks like Phillip Rivers kind of go-to guy with T.Y. Hilton essentially being a big fade this year. Anybody in particular you're targeting here in this game, Ryan?
Michael Pittman could be a great dynasty stash. You're going to have a hard time picking on a running back on the Colts side of the ball, but Jonathan Taylor's going to look to have a bounce-back game because they're going to have to run the ball against the Titans. This is a tight division race right now. They're both 7-3. Colts have been playing really good. Tannehill's going to have a tough matchup this week. Look for them to start off strong with Henry. If Henry can get some momentum going, you might see your guys like Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, and A.J. Brown all have decent games, but lower your expectations for the receiving core on the Titans.
Okay, nice. Good little hot take there. Very hot. Nice hot turkey. Looking forward to it. Carolina Panthers, Minnesota Vikings. Ryan, name me one guy on each team you are looking at to start undoubtedly if you have them on your fantasy team.
Panthers, this is the time for Curtis Samuel to make his must-start argument. I think DJ Moore has been on a tear, and they're going to try to pepper in Curtis Samuel here with the Vikings knowing McCaffrey is out for this game and Mike Davis struggling in the run game as of late. They're going to use Curtis Samuel as that kind of dual threat where he makes some running plays. You're going to get him on short routes and maybe try and bomb some long passes to him all at once. Start Curtis Samuel this week. On the Vikings side of the ball, I think you have your must starts. You got Thielen, you've got Dalvin Cook, you've got Justin Jefferson. I don't think that there's any debate there. But with the way the Panthers' defense have been kind of giving up a lot of points, maybe this is the week that if you need a QB, Kirk Cousins is a good stream.
Sure, yeah, and with Christian McCaffrey out, Mike Davis looks like he's going to be the lead back with Carolina. With that, Arizona Cardinals, New England Patriots. I think the Patriots are, defense-wise at least, are going to be in a world of hurt this week. Arizona coming off that bum loss Thursday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. Arizona's going to come out throwing. I know Kyler Murray has something with his shoulder, something to monitor, but they're saying that he is trending in the right direction to play this week. DeAndre Hopkins, I believe, was out yesterday with practice, but I don't see why he wouldn't play. Could be a potential for a big game for him, as well as Christian Kirk with the deep ball. Run game needs to get established a little more for Arizona in this one with Kenyon Drake. New England, I don't see putting up a fight on this one. I think you start the Kyler Murrays undoubtedly and could end up having a nice big bounce-back game. After a semi-dud, if you will, against Seattle. Anybody in particular you're looking at in this game, Ryan?
Everyone's hoping Damian Harris has a big game. Sony Michel is going to suit up. Again, though, with Rex Burkhead out for the year, they're down to the wire with their choices. This is Damian Harris's time to prove that he is the lead running back and take away that job from Michel. Cam Newton obviously struggling in the pass game. Jacoby Myers has emerged as his biggest target. Damiere Byrd, maybe flex him in those deep leagues. It's going to be a rough one for the Patriots. Their defense has been playing awful lately. So I think they're going to have to try and play catch up with the long passes, and I don't think it's going to work out.
Talk some sense into the people who continue to throw Cam Newton as their starting quarterback. Do you think that this is a viable option going forward? Are the wheels you feel like starting to come off on Cam?
Cam is one of those guys that I think he's got value in the run game. So if you're in those PPR formats where, like, you get a lot of points just for like 1-2 yards from a quarterback, and then you've got the TD upside, I think you can continue to start him in 12-team leagues. If you're in a 10-team league, there's probably better options out there.
Absolutely. Miami Dolphins, some team called the New York Jets. Give me one guy. Let's keep this under a minute. Give me one guy you're looking at this game that you feel like is a must start. And I'm going to take a wild stab. It's going to be on the Dolphins.
Well, the Dolphins have 2 must starts. Start their defense this week and go ahead and start Devontae Parker. I think that if anybody has made a connection with Tua, it's him. And we're going to see if they can finally get Tua over the hill here with this terrible Jets defense in their second matchup. There's really no reason whatsoever to talk about starting Jets players. If you got them, just dump them. Maybe Jameis Crowder stays on your bench for a while. Their running back situation is absolutely pointless. I mean that in the most sincere sense of the word. But on the Dolphins side, this is the time. Start their guys if you got them.
Cleveland Browns, Jacksonville Jaguars. Before you start bursting out into laughter, Ryan, is there anybody on either one of these teams you feel are must start for Week 12?
Guys, you got to start Mike Glennon. No, of course, I'm joking. Your must start here is James Robinson. I think it's time to bench DJ Chark. Guys like that for a while. Tyler Eifert shouldn't even be rostered in any leagues. The Jaguars are abysmal. They're a mess. This could be a big defensive day for the Browns. And I also think that Jarvis Landry is a must start. He's going to be your big bounce back. I want to believe.
Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers just look to be elite through and through. It's hard to figure out who's the boom, who's going to be the bust, especially when it comes to the wide receivers. James Conner continues to do well on the ground, not great, but is still a very formidable running back. Again, like you said with Elliott, you're not taking James Conner out of your lineup, right, Ryan?
No, I'm not taking James Conner out of the lineup. This could be the big day for Gus Edwards, like you said. Both teams are a little suspect against the run. So we're going to have to see what Gus Edwards does with his chances. But yeah, on the other side of the ball, you start James Conner. Maybe you lower your expectations for every wide receiver involved in this matchup, though.
Gus the Bus. That's my guy. Finally might be able to get his breakthrough. I was looking forward to it today. Shed a couple Indian tears, but it'll be okay. New Orleans Saints at the Denver Broncos. Who you got in this one, Ryan? Give me a boom and give me a bust for either one of these teams.
Well, I would like to point out that you're not going to get a huge boom out of Taysom Hill this week. ESPN has relegated him back to pure QB status. Right. You can't stick him in at tight end this week. Saints are going to do their thing, but they're going to have a hard time spreading the ball around to guys like Jared Cook when Taysom Hill is doing what he does with that Saints game plan. Obviously, Kamara's your must start. The Broncos side of the ball, Drew Lock is absolutely terrible. I don't know if you can really reliably start their receivers. You get some volume out of Tim Patrick. You get a couple big catches out of Judy. Fant's been off and on hurt. Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay trade roles. Really don't like the Broncos fantasy side of the ball. Right here, I heard you picked up the Saints D. You starting them?
I have the Dolphins D against the Jets, and I've got the New Orleans Saints D against Denver, and I'm having a hard time. I know he asked you about it, but yeah, I'm believing in the New Orleans Saints defense. It's been lights out the last 3 weeks. Feeling they have a great opportunity to shut down Melvin Gordon. I'm not starting Melvin Gordon at all, even after his big week last week. I feel like a lot of people probably now inserting them into the lineup, but the Saints defense is crazy good against the rush, and I think New Orleans comes out big on this one. But Tim Patrick is somebody I want to believe in. I did pick him up, and I'm not starting him. I want to see if this is a trend that continues as he grabs yards by the bunches. Let's see if it does come to fruition moving forward. San Francisco 49ers against the Los Angeles Rams, coming off that big win Monday night against Tampa. Who you got in this one here, Ryan? Tell me somebody that you're targeting. Give me somebody that you feel like is somebody that you just wouldn't trust? Maybe a Deebo Samuel who's looking to come back from injury this week.
Deebo Samuel would definitely be the guy. I think go ahead and start Ayuk in all formats. He's really been the breakout guy there. Mostert's probably not going to be back this week, so you got another wishy-washy situation with Jerick McKinnon. Both the 49ers and the Rams have a problem at running back where someone's got to break these cuffs.
I can break these cuffs.
You can't break those cuffs.
And Cam Akers is starting to look like the better running back on the Rams, but we still don't see the volume from him. Rams are looking good. They're probably going to win this game, and it's time to fire up Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods again, and you'll get big things out of them.
Yeah, that San Francisco 49ers defense has been decimated by injuries, so I feel like it could be another big game from the both of them, as well as Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds, I think, disappointed some teams last week. Is that somebody you think moving forward is somebody to at least monitor?
It's the deep league format. This guy's a true wide receiver 3. As long as Woods and Kupp are available, you start them over Reynolds. If you're desperate, Reynolds really should be in a lower flex. Your team's in shambles if you got him at wide receiver 1 or 2.
Yeah, agreed completely. Kansas City Chiefs, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a fun one.
Game of the week.
That's right. Is this your game of the week, the GOAT versus the GOAT?
I think this one's my game of the week. Yeah, I mean, the reason why is Buccaneers, they are holding on right now. They could lose this game. They're going to be 7-5 if they do, and they're going to have a hard road to the playoffs. They got to snag that wild card unless the Saints really go on a drop-off here and start losing multiple games in a row. The Chiefs' defense has been looking better of late, but it's the passing game we're going to see here. I think you can safely start your Godwin, your Mike Evans, and your Antonio Brown again. That's going to be fine. The Chiefs side of the ball, I don't know if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to have the easiest time against the Buccaneers' run defense, which is better than their pass defense. So again, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, not the highest ceiling. On the Buccaneers side, Fournette and Ronald Jones, they have to break some cuffs, and this is going to bring me to my Mielek Minute, and I'm going to go ahead and take it now. All right, so Clyde Edwards-Helaire is one of those guys who was taken off the board first in rookie dynasty drafts. I have this problem with running back addiction going on. Everyone's got to stop, get some help. You don't always need to take every running back that's on the board, especially if you know these guys aren't going to start for you in year 1 or year 2. This is kind of forcing me into a position where my team is so bad this year, I may have to take Etienne as my number 1 position because as it goes around the draft back to me, I'm not going to have him as an option available to me. I'm not sure if I want to just use Trevor as some draft bait. So this is one of those situations where I'm telling everybody, you got to stop the addiction to the running backs. You take one early in the draft, and once that guy's gone, you know he's not going to get volume anymore. Move on to the talented wide receivers. That's going to be my Mielek Minute, and we can move on to this next game between the Bears and the Packers, Rob.
Yes, we have the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Aaron Rodgers. I'm kidding, the Green Bay Packers. Feel like this is kind of a lopsided one. I don't know who you're starting with Chicago. Nick Foles is day-to-day right now. I know Allen Robinson is a must-start. We've talked about that before for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, you're essentially running out the usual suspects. I'm still not jumping off the Allen Lazard train. This might be a week that he's able to get back on track. Anybody in particular you're eyeing for this matchup here, Ryan?
Go ahead and start your Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is going to look to bounce back. I think Rodgers has built a rapport with him. He's going to give him another chance. Go ahead and drop off your Tanyans and guys like that. They've got a carousel of tight ends they're using almost like a running back committee. Chicago's defense has not been playing as well as everybody seems to think they are, and David Montgomery coming back from the concussion might help out their offense a little bit, but like you said, Allen Robinson's your must start. The only other guy in the Bears I like right now as a sneaky flex play is going to be Darnell Mooney, and then after that, Jimmy Graham is going to look to have a bounce back week, but that's going to be tough against a Green Bay defense that already is familiar with the way Jimmy Graham plays because of his tenure on the team. I'm going to take Green Bay to win this one. I don't think it's going to be close.
Monday night, got I guess a fun one, not sure. Two birds are going at it. The Seattle Seahawks against the Philadelphia Eagles. And before we get into this one, Ryan, I would like to get into my Masio Minute and let me know when you are ready to rock and roll. The Philadelphia Eagles need a change. And why not start but under center? Carson Wentz, we've seen enough. Enough sacks, enough interceptions. Let's see if there is a new era in Eagles football with Jalen Hurts. What's it going to hurt? No pun intended, but it was intended. Jalen Hurts needs to start. He can extend plays with his legs. We are starting to see a trend. The running quarterback is coming back in the NFL. Everybody get excited. Jalen Hurts can run. He can scramble. He can extend plays. He has weapons. He's got Miles Sanders back. What's it going to hurt at this point? That division, everybody tied with 3 wins. 3 wins in the NFC East. Eagles need a shot in the arm. Can be Jalen Hurts. Just got to give this guy a shot. Let's just say, I'm thinking Seattle's going to be winning big. Come second quarter, it might be time to see if Hurts gets in there, see what he can do. What's it, again, going to hurt? I want to see Jalen Hurts, and I want to see him in this
That's your Masio
game.
minute.
Ryan, what do you see?
All right, Seahawks, their offense fires on all cylinders. Chris Carson is coming back for this game, so you can hope that he doesn't get hurt during it and get some points out of him for Week 12. Russell Wilson's turning the ball over a little bit more, but he's going to look to kind of tighten things up here with your DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Those are your normal matchups. The Eagles, this might be the time to get Fulgham and Goddard and Jalen Reagor into your lineups, Miles Sanders into your lineups. If you've been scared of the Eagles offense lately, this Seattle defense is terrible, and hopefully we can see all those guys get a little bit more of a flex value for Week 12, even with Carson Wentz at the helm.
Absolutely, and this might not be the hottest of takes, but I believe this is where Miles Sanders will end up having over 100 yards rushing just due to the fact of how bad that Seattle's defense is. With that, that is our Week 12 preview for Fantasy R&R. My name's Rob.
I'm Ryan, and we'll see you next time for the Week 13 preview.
Insert outro jingle here.
That's what fantasy with Rob and